Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Tiffany and this is the Passionately Crafted podcast. And hi, it is Friday, January 16th or 17th. And it is the afternoon and my dog is right here wanting attention. So why don't we say hello? Oh, this is Cooper. I have a lot of new subscribers, so hi everyone. This is my dog Cooper. He's a puppy. He's only 4 months old and he is a golden doodle and he's crazy. Aren't you? Aren't you crazy? Yes, you are. You're just a lunatic. I love you though. You're a lovable lunatic, but you're crazy. Anyway, he may interrupt. Bless you. He may interrupt us. That tends to happen and I apologize. I'll try to edit it out as much as I can. But yeah, I have a lot of new people here, so welcome to my little corner of the internet. I am excited to be here today. I've been pretty monogamous, so I feel like today's episode might be a little bit shorter, but that's okay. We've got some good progress to show you. I am a little bummed because I really anticipated I would have another finished object this week, but it's not quite done. We just didn't quite get there, but that's okay. It's gonna be finished this weekend because I'm so close. So I think we will just jump on in. If you are interested in following kind of from a vlog series standpoint for my projects, definitely follow me on Instagram. I have been kind of jumping headfirst into the Reels space and trying my hand at like little small daily vlogs for my projects. So in the description box below, my Instagram is listed there, my Ravelry is listed there, my email, if for any reason you need to get a hold of me, is listed there. And yeah, I would love if you guys followed me over there and kind of got to see my progress from day to day. Sorry, there's a lamp right here and I just kicked it. I think that's all of kind of the admin stuff. I have 2 projects that I worked on in the last 2 weeks. One of them is an acquisition as well, so we'll talk a bit about that here in a minute. But I'm going to start with my main whip, which I have been monogamous for the most part in working on over the last 2 weeks. And that is my Ingrid sweater. So a lot of progress since you guys saw it last. Last time you saw it, we were sitting right around here on the body. So we've done all of that on the body and an entire sleeve and started the second sleeves. And I think you guys saw the collar last time. I did have the collar on it, but okay. So this is the Ingrid sweater by Petite Knit. I'm sure you guys have seen this before. Yeah, I am knitting it in the size small on the recommended needles, and I am knitting it in Holskarn held double. So I have a cone and a ball of the super soft in the color Sugar Snap. And you can see I'm almost done. I still have some yarn on the cone. I think this is going to get me through the sleeve, and then I have been holding that with Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair in the color Dusty Rose. And I have modified this a bit, so we're gonna dig into that a little bit right now. But yeah, I've knit a good amount on this. So what have I modified? First, I modified the lattice section here. It's supposed to be a double lattice, and it was just absolutely killing my hands, my wrists, my shoulder. Like, something about the way the right crosses and left crosses are done and how many stitches are on the needles, I was just hurting. So I decided that I was going to reduce it down to be a matching lattice section to up here. And then the pattern calls for the double lattice and then this rib into the 1x1 rib for the bottom of the sweater. And so instead, since I reduced the lattice and needed to gain a little bit more length, I just repeated the moss stitch section prior to going into the body ribbing. And then I did reduce the ribbing by about half of what was called for, just based on the length and the aesthetic. And then I did the called for Italian sewn bind off. And then I'm making the same modifications on the sleeve. So you can see we did a single lattice section here. It should have been a double. Did the 2x2 ribbing, did a moss stitch section, and then did a 1x1 rib section in a tubular bind off there. So those are the modifications that I've made. I can try this on for you guys, I guess. Like that would make sense because it's definitely in a place where I can try it on. Got a lot of ends, but that's okay. So this is before blocking. It looks really funky because everything is like different tensions because of the different types of stitches. But you can see like when it grows, I expect that it's going to be a little bit longer than it is right now. And then I expect the sleeve to grow a little bit. It might actually be too long once it's all said and done, but that is how we are looking as of right now. And then we've just got to finish this guy. So I'll just leave this on and talk about it. I'm really excited about the yarn and the color. Like I was a little worried it was gonna wash me out. That's why I added in the darker mohair, because I think if I would have just gone with this pink color, it probably would have washed me out. But you can see the mohair really does darken up the sweater a good amount. And I think that was a good call. I like how it's looking on my skin tone. I am excited to get the spinning oil out of this yarn and see how it feels and how it looks once it is blocked. So that's exciting. I'm excited to see how the yarn blocks and how it softens and how it relaxes, because there's a lot of texture here, so it has a lot of relaxing to do. Like the lattice section, like it has a lot of relaxing to do. So I'm excited. I'm trusting the process. Obviously it's hard when you've got like this weird bunchy fabric to know kind of what to expect in the finished object, but I do like the color. I am questioning my collar choice. I did go outside of the pattern and I did it before I read what the bind off, recommended bind off was for the pattern. And I kind of think I may go back and do a folded collar or an Italian bind off on the collar. I just feel like it's not gonna match all of the rest of the finishing. So I did a 1x1 bind off in pattern, and also the rib on the collar is 2x2. The rib on the sleeves and the body is 1x1. So I haven't quite figured out what I wanna do with that, if I wanna make them match or what I wanna do. I think I'm losing stitches. No, okay. So got some decisions to make about the collar. I don't think the 2x2 looks bad because there is 2x2 ribbing in the sweater. I don't know. So we'll see. But it's supposed to snow here. In case you don't know, I live in a suburb of Houston on the north side of town, and we are expecting snow on Tuesday. And I don't know how much snow. It may be in the middle of the night. It probably won't stick to the ground. I've lived here my whole life and it's only stuck to the ground one time ever. And that was a few years ago. But it's supposed to get really freaking cold, regardless of whether or not the snow sticks. It's gonna be in the 20s next week. And I would love to have this sweater to be cozy in. It's so warm, and I like the double layer of wool plus the mohair. Like I feel like it would just be perfect to have. So I refuse to let this moment, this one cold week in Texas where I could really use this sweater to its full potential, I refuse to let that pass and not have this finished. So I'm gonna work my little fingers to the bone this weekend and get this sleeve done and get this blocking because I wanna wear it. I'm determined. So that is my first whip. I think I said everything that I wanted to say about this. I've been filming a series on this on Instagram, and I post daily about what I worked on and what my goals are and things like that. So if you're interested in that, definitely head over to my Instagram and check that out. And yeah. All right. Okay. So that is my Ingrid. Okay. So the other whip that I worked on is actually a new cast on. I'm excited to talk to you guys about this. So this is for a knit along that I have decided to participate in because my favorite YouTubers are all hosting it, and how exciting is that? So Casey from Young Folk Knits and Rachel and Jessica from Those Twins Who Knit, which I love them. They have inspired me so much. Like, they're the reason I am in my garment phase. Like, I love everything they knit. I wish I could knit as much as they knit and all of the pretty things that they knit. And so they're hosting a knit along and I'm like, yes, please. I would love to knit a sweater with you guys. So I did cast on for the Stornoway sweater by Coco Amore Knitwear. And it looks like this. And I have an acquisition because I had to buy yarn for this project. I had a realization when I was casting this on or shopping for the yarn. I've knit not as many garments as I would like. I have a total of like 7 garments I've knitted in my wardrobe, and not a single one of them is neutral. I don't know why. I have a lot of pink stripes and multicolored stripes and a purple sweater, and I do have a gray, so I do take that back. I have one neutral, but it's a tank top. I don't have any long sleeve, actual woolly sweaters that are neutral. And so this one, I went with a neutral palette that I always, if I do lean towards a color, I like to wear like green because my eyes are green. And so I went with like neutral with a green pop. And I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited. Okay, so the yarn that I'm knitting this in. So the main color, which this is all coming apart. The main color is Kelborn Woolens in their Scout DK. There's the label. And this is what the yarn looks like. And it is in the color Oatmeal Heather. This is a really affordable DK weight yarn. So one skein is $18 at my local yarn store. Which is the Modern Skein over in Conroe, and I like it a lot. I like it a lot. So that is my main color, and I am holding it with a lighter colored mohair to lighten it up just a bit. And this is Sandnes Garn Tin Silk Mohair in the color Cream, and that is my main color. And then my contrast color, the DK yarn you can no longer get. It was a variety pack of like a base that Moonglow Yarn Co. does not carry anymore, with colors that she was testing out that she didn't end up keeping exactly in her shop. And I bought 15 skeins for $100 because she was trying to just get rid of it and get it to a loving home. And this was one of the skeins. Now I am risking it a bit because I have one skein of this. And it is not something that I can just get another skein of. And the pattern in my size calls for a bit more than one skein for the contrast color. But I'm hoping it's a bit of an overestimate because when I look at the pattern, I feel like I should be able to get the stripes out of one skein. But if not, then I will have to solve for that. So we're gonna see how that goes. So far I haven't used much, and I have done 2 stripes on the back panel, but they're smaller stripes, so we'll see. But this is a dark green, really pretty dark green from Moonglow Yarn Co. And I got Sandnes Garn Tin Silk Mohair in Deep Forest Green to pair with that for my contrast color, and I am in love. I'm in love. So our cast on date for the knit along was the 15th, so 2 days ago. And it is on size US 8 needles. I'm knitting the size 3, and it's working up super fast. So this was like, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours of knitting maybe. There's a lot of ends, but because of the construction, it's hard to explain. But it's a trapezoid, like a rapid trapezoid shape. If you can see that edge right there. This is obviously the back panel. I have, like I said, finished and completed 2 of the green stripes on the back. And I am almost done with the increases for this back panel. And then I think you knit straight for a bit and then do the shoulders. So we'll see. I haven't read ahead, but it has this beautiful texture in between the color stripes, and that's throughout the body of the sweater, so it's very potato chippy. These are the called for needles. I did not have to change. I got gauge pretty close to gauge. I think I was off by like half a stitch or a stitch, but I have some extra positive ease in the size that I'm knitting, so I think it's going to be totally okay. We're going to hope. We're going to keep our fingers crossed. But I love the way the colors are working up. You can see with that mohair that it does lighten up the main color just a bit from the yarn by itself. And that was a suggestion of Sharon at the Modern Skein, so I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm excited to get some work done on this. I did put it down after I cast on and got this done the first night to finish my Ingrid sweater, but then I will be picking that back up and working on it periodically while also finishing some other whips. And I think that's everything about that. I'm very excited. I'm very excited to have the finished sweater, and I'm excited to be participating in a knit along. I haven't done a knit along in a really long time, and I'm excited. So I will keep you guys updated on the progress of that in the coming weeks, and we'll see it come to life. In regards to what's coming up in plans, if you watched my last episode, then you know this. Once I finish the Ingrid, I'm moving on to my porcelain sweater to try to finish that whip up, because I would also really love to have that sweater. And I do think when I set the challenge for myself on this one of 7 days, I don't think I realized how much time the texture would take, especially the lattice section. This small little lattice section on the body took me like 3 or 4 days because I had to take so many breaks, and it was just really slow going to get all the way around the sweater. I mean, it is a pretty decent oversized circumference, and it drug on and on and on. And so this has ended up being more than 7 days. It's been 16 days at this point, which is crazy, but we're almost there. So I think I overestimated what I was capable of for setting a 7-day goal with the texture, not realizing how long the texture would take me. But for the porcelain, it's primarily stockinette. Now it's color work, but through working on my iris sweater, I feel like I got really good and pretty quick at color work. So I don't feel like that's gonna slow me down, and it's only bands of color work, it's not all over color work. So I feel like if I do a 7-day goal for the porcelain sweater, that it actually might be achievable. So we'll see. And I do have my porcelain here. Let me grab it. Just so, in case you're new, you can see the porcelain and where it's at. So if you have not seen this pattern before, this is from Lay Knit. This is the porcelain sweater and the regular one. I think she has released a textured one and maybe a round yoke one or something like that she's coming out with, but this is just the regular porcelain sweater. And this is where I'm at on it. And my goal would be, like, for the next 2 weeks is to finish the Ingrid, which I should finish this weekend, and then to shift over to this and to finish it. I'd like to finish this in 7 days from when I pick it up again and start working on it to when it's completely done. I have to finish this color band in the middle, do a stockinette section, do one more color band, and then the ribbing, and then the 2 sleeves. And I do think that that is doable in 7 days. So I will probably stick with the 7-day goal on this one. Oh, and I need to do the collar. I just really want this. I'm knitting this in the called for yarn, which is Sandnesgarn 10 pure Ghent held with Sandnesgarn 10 silk mohair. My main color is the oatmeal in the 10 pure Ghent and the almond in the mohair. And then my contrast is blackberry for both. It's a really pretty purple. And yeah, I really want to have this sweater for this winter as well. So that is my next focus piece. That is my plan. And then obviously to pick up my Stornoway sweater here and there when I can to make some progress on that. Now that knit along, the Stornoway sweater knit along, runs until March 31st. So after I finish the porcelain sweater, I will probably shift my focus to finishing that. And then I'm going to give myself a new cast on, which will be my terracotta sweater, because I have all of the yarn for that. Where is my mohair? There it is. So I have all the yarn for my terracotta sweater, and I want to knit that up. So hopefully I will get to cast that on here in the next month or so, if I can finish the porcelain sweater and the Stornoway sweater. So those are the goals, and then we're gonna go to the next whip in the pile, which I think I want to restart my Monday sweater and not hold the yarn double like I started it with. And if you haven't seen that sweater, I urge you to go watch my cast on my fall makes or my fall knits with me vlog. It's many videos back. Go back before Vlogmas, and it's there. And you'll see all of my current whips that I'm trying to finish. So I do want to direct you to that video. I'll link it below. Because there's a lot of detail. You'll see all the projects I cast on to hopefully finish in these fall and winter seasons. And if you've kept up, you know I got distracted, but we're circling back. We're focused now. So the Ingrid's the first of those sweaters that we're trying to wrap up. The porcelain was on that list. And then I also have the Monday sweater, the Storm sweater, the Hannah cardigan my size, and then I have the Aurelia pullover, but I think I'm abandoning that for right now. I started it over with a new yarn, and honestly, I just don't have any desire to work on it. So that's just not where I'm at. My mind is not in an all-over cabled sweater that's super complicated at this moment in time. Now, I may finish that one in the future, but I have other things I want to knit, so we're gonna knit what we want, what brings us joy. So, I think that's everything for today. That's the only acquisition I have, was the yarn for the Stornoway. In terms of life, things are good. Work is busy in the new year, just all new projects, all new initiatives, which has been one of the reasons why my Ingrid sweater is taking longer than expected, just because work has been very mentally exhausting, and it takes me a while to have the brain space once I get off work to then work on a textured project like this. If it was stockinette, I feel like I'd be done with it by now, but because it does take concentration, and there's short rows, and there's right crosses and left crosses and yarn overs and all of the things, like I feel like I haven't had as much mental space to work on something like that, because work has been busy. All good things, just new initiatives, new budgets, new projects that I have to use a lot of brain space for in the early stages of this year. So the boys are good. Carter and Jackson are doing well. Jackson got 100 on his spelling test today. He's 5. He's a smart kid. Both my boys are so smart. Almost too smart sometimes, but he was super excited about his spelling test, so he called me today to tell me that. He's with his dad, and I took lunch to Carter today. I'll put a picture here. We had fun. We were laughing and doing filters on my phone and having a good time. Outside of that, and knitting and work, I've been thrifting a little bit. I may have a problem. If you follow me on Instagram, you're aware that I have a problem. But it's been really fun to find designer brands or nice things that you can keep out of a landfill, but like they're valuable and you get them for such an affordable price. It's just been a thrill for me, and I've really been enjoying it. And like today, I went to Hobby Lobby to get some flowers for a vase I found at Goodwill for my kitchen table. And there's a Goodwill that I hadn't been to next door to Hobby Lobby. So I was like, well, I'll just go in there. And I ended up getting a Dyson vacuum for like one of the handheld ones, you know, that you like hang on the wall and then you can like take it off and like vacuum real quick. But it's like a big one. I got it for $30, and I looked it up, and the exact model of it is on Amazon for $3.99 right now. And like obviously it's used, but I needed it for my rug because my regular vacuum is a Dyson, but it sucks up my rug. It's too powerful. And so I wanted this like more handheld one with like a little less power to try to vacuum my rug because Cooper makes an absolute disaster. So I got that today. I've gotten some really cool items. I ended up getting a Michael Kors purse for $30. I got a leather coat. I got a beautiful leather coat that I can't wait to wear somewhere. I don't know where I'm gonna go that I need to wear it. It's very feminine, very pretty. So yeah, I've just gotten some really cool stuff. We got Carter a bike, and it was a Trek mountain bike, if you've ever heard of that, and looked up the exact model, and it's a $500 bike that we got for 65 bucks, in great condition, and you know, just stuff like that. Like, it's just crazy. So I've just been enjoying the hunt, right? The find a needle in a haystack. And it's been really fun. So that may be something I make a video on just because I'm enjoying it. And I love making content for my main hobby, but like, this is something that's been a passion of mine this month. So I may make like a what I thrifted in January video. And if you would be interested in that, comment down below, because I don't, you know, I'm gonna probably make it anyways, but it would be cool to know that like I'm not completely making videos that you guys are like, I'm not here for that. But yeah, so I think that's everything. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you subscribing. If you haven't already, I hope you will. And I'll be back in 2 weeks to tell you guys what I've gotten done. Bye.